Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm going to try to speak loud because I'm sitting in the back and it's difficult for me to hear. So I hope people in the back can hear me. Can you hear me back there? Okay, great. Plus, if I speak loud enough, it'll keep you awake. You know how we get after we have a nice meal.
Right.
Okay. We live in a world filled with hardship, violence, and self-centeredness. We have become insensitive to the plight of millions of people going through hunger, homelessness, illness, and natural disasters. But it is nice to know that there are people in this world who are sensitive to the things who are sensitive to these things, and they have compassion and a desire to do something about it. These people give of their time and their money. These people are called philanthropists. Philanthropy, as noted in the dictionary, is a desire to improve the material, social, and spiritual welfare of humanity, especially through charitable activities. We have a philanthropist with us today. His name is Robert Bob McCall, Jr. Bob is here today with his lovely wife, Benita, and father, Bob McCall, Sr. Many of you have heard of Bob McCall, Sr., the famous restaurateur and caterer. And by the way, Mr. McCall, Sr., you did a fantastic job in raising your son to be the man he is today. Thank you. Bob McCall, Jr. grew up in Pittsburgh. He currently resides in Charlotte, North Carolina with his wife and children. He attended Tuskegee University and majored in building technology and construction. Bob worked in power plants and energy centers, including nuclear power plants in Iowa and North Carolina. He was the general manager of the Southern region, as well as the vice president of the Eastern region in energy delivery for the Progress Energy Company. Wow, Bob. In this responsibility, he had 13 operation centers serving over 350,000 customers. Then, after 33 years in the industry, Bob retired from Duke Energy Company, where he was general manager of fleet services. In this position, Bob was responsible for managing over 13,000 vehicles and mobile equipment that was valued at over $600 million, operating in 6 states and 58 locations. What a man. Currently, Bob is president of his own company called Inspire High Performance, where he gets to follow his true passion of helping companies and organizations build a culture of high performance. This culture enables people to work towards their top potential every day, which helps them to prevent injuries, save lives, recognize errors, and improve the business process. Bob's outside activities include motivational speaking to youth and men's group, as well as volunteering with many charities and civic groups. Bob's motto is, make a difference wherever you go. Now, I want to let you all know that all the money Bob receives from these speaking engagements, he donates to various charities. The African American Women's Speaker Bureau is one of those charities that Bob McCall has graciously donated many times. Thus, because of these donations, we now honor him today with this recognition and this gift. Thank you, Bob. Please come up. This is a clock with a picture of the world, and Bob's going to say a few words.
Well, how many know we're never in it for the honor and the gift? How many know that? Right?
You know, let me tell you how God works, and this is going to be a challenge to the ladies of the Speakers Bureau, which is just a tremendous organization. A young lady, Miss Mungeon, who's a second mother to me, and when I say that, she's known me since I was in first grade. Her son and I have been friends since first grade. Her husband, the late Robert Mungeon, great man, was the reason I went to Tuskegee, you know, and the reason I played Kappa Alpha Psi. And you heard, you know, she mentioned about my dad. You know, back in the day when my dad had the restaurant, he used to do those big night Las Vegases. All those proceeds would go to feeding the elderly. And I was in that group of servers, you know, out there on Thanksgiving feeding the elderly. So I come from a nice lineage of those who believe in giving back. I'm at the house and I'm talking to Miss Mungeon, and we're just kind of casually talking. And I've just mentioned to her about you know, what I had been doing with my other charities, and she's like, "Well, wait a minute. You know, we have a Speakers Bureau, and that's the challenge. You know, to the ladies of the Speakers Bureau, tell everybody." Right? Because if you believe in what you're doing and you have the passion in what you're doing, people are going to catch on fire about that. And I said, well, no, I didn't realize you had a charity. She says, yeah, you know, African Americans, Women's Speakers Bureau, what do you guys do? Well, you know, Justin, you heard the young lady earlier say, you know, we help the ladies through breast cancer, those who've had it, those who are in it, we give up. I mean, that hits my heart. My mom died of liver cancer. It wasn't breast cancer, but it was liver cancer. And she died right now. I'm 55 years old. She died at 55. And when I was 36, I remember at that time how young she was. Now, how many know I know how young she was? Right? I know how young she was. So I told Miss Mungeon, I said, well, hey, you know, let me have your number, this, that. I got you guys at the top of my list. You know, so every engagement that I do, and I just did one, so I got another check here for $500. Every engagement I do, you guys expect to get a check because I believe in what you do. Thanks so much for what you do. And thank you so much for this. I mean, not necessary, but thank you so much. And I will cherish this. I'll put this on my desk in the office, and I'll see it every day and know that it's appreciated.